It's John and Rachael, and it is YaJagoff Late Night, and we're done with the porch tours, and it's time to get back inside, which is perfect because there's air conditioning here. The thing is, we're back inside at a completely different place than we thought we were going to be 2 days ago.
Yeah, doesn't it look different? Yeah, exactly. We're actually at Johnny Angel's Ginchy stuff right here in the Manchester area, right where Bicycle Heaven and Manchester Bidwell is. So happy to be here because there's so much going on in Pittsburgh. We had to move locations, and here we are. Speaking of this location, and listen, we have so much to talk about tonight, but at this location on July the 28th, we are hosting a pop-up with our friends at Babesburg. So we're super stoked for that. We'll tell you more about it, but it is at Johnny Angel's Ginchy stuff, which you'll have to take a look around.
Because you can get a cool jacket.
Hence the air conditioning. John's
cool
just
jacket
wearing
just like
jackets.
This.
There you go.
All right.
Thanks, as always, to Q92.9 and to People's Gas because they are our sponsors, and we feel like super rusty because we haven't said that in forever because we did our Porch Tour series.
Right.
Speaking of...
There's a winner. It's the Hudsons. It was Porch Tour stop number 4.
Yep.
And they have won. We have to thank, you have to go watch the video on Facebook, but basically they now get a chance to have a Pub on Wheels party in their neighborhood with beer from Caliente Pizza and Daddy beer, and we got some snacks and some DJs. We got pepperoni rolls coming from Mancini's.
Yep.
So all that stuff. If you're friends with Jason Hudson, buck
Now's
up to
the
him
time
now,
to be
or
friends with
Tammy,
him.
because you want to get invited to the party whenever
But
they
thank you
schedule
so
it.
much to all 4 of the folks who hosted the Porch Tours. They were an amazing time. Our June it flew by, but it was a great time. And listen, we found out 408 bags. 408. She said that they do, they do what, 60 a month?
Yeah.
So, oh my God, like I was crying when I heard her say that. That's just amazing to me.
We did almost 9 months worth of Zach packs through the
We
Porch
did a
Tour.
pregnancy of Zach packs. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was on the blog?
All right, what was on the blog real quick is, every other day when we're not doing the podcast, we write a blog about Jagoffs and Littering driver. We were right behind a car on 51, and we watched the arm come out and drop and throw garbage over to the side of the curb. I thought we were over these back in the 1970s.
Does that?
Do you do that in your house?
It's awful.
The cool part is we got the arm. The picture is the arm of the guy hanging out.
And listen, that is why I'm not the driver. I'm the picture taker, so that I can be there to help you out.
And then Fancy Clancy was you.
Well, my daughter Adeline complains every time we shop at Aldi, not Aldi's people, and she says, "Mom, these brands just aren't. I don't get it. It's made up names." So we went through the whole Clancy. That's how my husband says it every time we pull out a bag of pretzels. It's Clancy. Anyway, John made a little spoof on that. Fancy the Clancy. Why does Aldi have such off brands? But who cares because they're cheaper.
So we have a unique podcast tonight in the fact that we have some people here. We pre-recorded one of them. It's the story behind St. Elmo's fire movie.
Gonna see the man in motion. All you need is a set of
and it is
wheels,
so
a
intriguing
pair of
because
wheels.
it does. St. Elmo's fire was written by a Pittsburgher about his love for another Pittsburgh girl.
How about that? We have some great guests, including because Pittsburgh is packed with things going on this summer.
The Shindig is coming.
I mean, it's here too. Do you guys remember we talked about the Shindig last year? Well, it's back. And the insurance guy himself, Vince Gemma, is here, as well as our new friend Aaron, who is going to talk about celebrating 20 years of an art.
Is she going to make me dance?
You will not have to dance,
good.
I promise. Some great music because of the Northside Music Festival and our 412 dues or our favorite Discover the Berg. Stay with us on YaJagoff Late Night.
Nobody knows. Rick Seaback doesn't even know. It says it right here.
What does that mean?
Let's Google that. Where does Kennywood's open come from? Siri, where does the phrase Kennywood is open comes from, meaning your zipper's open? Okay, here it is. Okay, that's not. Okay, so what it says here is, well, apparently they consulted the amusement park, they consulted Rick Seaback and others, and nobody knows. The director of publications at Heinz History Center is the local expert on Kennywood. He wrote 2 books on the park, and he's working on a 3rd. Even with all those Kennywood connections, he said, nobody knows, nobody can figure it out, where it originated. What else did they say here? So they said here that the terminology dates back to at least the 1950s, but nobody knows where it originated. Not Pittsburgh Dad, not Rick Seaback, not Heinz History Center experts, not even Mitch Dugan. Not even Kennywood officials. Nobody knows. I don't know, but I mean, I remember kids used to say it to me all the time in school.
John and Rachael, YaJagoff Late Night, and got to thank Mitch Dugan, always a totally Pittsburgh guy, and he explained, as you just saw or heard, the Kennywood is open phrase, and we can't explain it actually, but I thought he did a good job of making
Siri
it up.
and Google. It was hysterical. We love chatting it up with Mitch.
So Shindig is open now.
Oh my gosh! Remember last year we did Shindig. But now everybody knows about it.
Vince looked at us like we had two heads when we were talking
idea.
to him. Right? He's like, "What is going on here?" So Vince Gemma, my preferred insurance, and my preferred realty, the insurance guy. You have every tag in the book, and you are throwing the Shindig up in Butler County here, August 4th and 5th.
That is correct.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what started the Shindig, because this is the second year.
This is your brainchild.
This is my brainchild. It started a couple years with a golf outing that we added music to, and then we went away from the golf outing simply because more people wanted to listen to music than golf.
Yeah.
So we morphed it into a cornhole tournament with music, and then it morphed into a music festival with cornhole. So it just went all the way.
Now it's 2 days worth.
Now it is 2 days. Everything we do doubles over time. Next year, hopefully, is 4 days, and I don't know, we'll go further than that. But yes, it is 2 days. It's Sunday and Monday. August 4th and 5th at Union Brothers Brewery, and we have a ton of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Now, Vince, that's interesting that it's not a Saturday and Sunday. It's a Sunday and a Monday. And what's the idea behind that?
So the logic behind our biggest sponsor is Berkshire Hathaway, the Preferred Realty. So realtors work all the time, but in particular, open houses on Sundays. They have showings on Saturdays. And then golf is typically on Mondays because the courses are closed.
Okay.
So we kind of took that and said, okay, we're going to dedicate the Monday to our realtors at Berkshire Hathaway, the Preferred and Stauffer Realty. We're going to bring them out for a cornhole tournament. And then right after that, last year, we did the car show and then the music and everything else. So that's the purpose for the Sunday, Monday, instead of doing a Saturday, Sunday.
But, having been a part of it last year, I mean, there is some formula to it because people came out. They wanted to hear the music. You're right. Cornhole has grown. It's becoming this, cult thing where people want to play cornhole wherever they go. They're really into that. And the car show was amazing. I mean, people just kept coming.
Car show was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I really look forward. This year, it's 2 days of car shows.
Yeah.
We have a couple old cars. Anyone that has cars loves to come out. That's why we said on this and that, don't show up at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or before. 4 o'clock. Actually, 4 o'clock's fine. Don't show up before 4 because that's what happens. Car people want to come up. They want to pick their spot. Want to post up for the...
Right. And now I think the brilliance behind the Monday thing is that it's only a couple of weeks after that kids go back to school. So there's a Monday afternoon where they can go because you have stuff for kids all day long as well.
We have stuff for kids starting in early afternoon, going into the evenings. And what's nice about the car show, anyone that owns a car wants to come out. Typically, the wife or the husband and the kids don't necessarily like being dragged to the car show. So we have the music, we have the food, we have the entertainment for the kids. We have face painting and balloon art and airbrush tattoo. We have Sam Thong, who's coming, who did the caricatures.
Oh, yeah.
My actual insurance guy caricature on my beer, he did that. He'll be there. And then we have a 360 photo booth for everyone
People
to
love those.
Yeah.
fun.
And talk about the food at Union Brothers that people can get access
Fantastic.
to,
How about we
right?
talk about it? It was
Right.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're there a lot.
That's your office.
Well,
That's the afternoon
I
office
gotta
that
watch.
we saw.
I gotta watch what I say.
Yeah.
The morning is we typically go over to Wonder Bar. We
Right.
have a lot of meetings there. We'll stop over to the brewery for a quick bite to eat and a beverage. But the food is fantastic. Actually, the two owners, Leah and Zach Waltz, her grandfather was actually a chef in the White House. So
wow.
a lot of their menu items came from her grandfather.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Yes.
That's a cool Pittsburgh.
Well, even,
deal.
the food is fantastic, but inside is amazing. I mean, you don't realize how big it is, but just-
Decorated by?
Yeah, our friends, Max and Shane from Do What We Love. I mean, it's graffiti art inside, so there's something to look at as well. But again, it's a full day, 2 days really, of things that you can do, but there's a charitable component. You're not just doing this to throw a party, even though it's a heck of a party.
It is a heck of a party, but all the proceeds go to the Northwood Charitable Foundation.
Yeah.
Since 2016, My Preferred Insurance and Home Solutions have donated over $64,000
Wow.
since 2016. We hope to do 15 to 20,000 this year for the 2-day event. Northwood Charitable Foundation is the, correct me if I'm wrong, the philanthropic arm.
Philanthropic.
How'd I do?
Yeah,
I did good.
Yeah,
That was
that's
close.
good.
Of Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate. They do all housing related charities, and actually they're one of the I can't see from a donation level, they're one of the largest when it comes to the Fisher House, but they're the longest in standing donating to the Fisher House, which is the Ronald McDonald House for the vets.
Right.
So great place. And then they do other things such as the Washington City Mission and all different housing-related charities around Western PA and Eastern Ohio.
And it's $5, you Jagoff.
Come on.
$5,
Right?
you
Don't be a
Jagoff.
jag.
Yeah.
And that's for both days. We're going to wristband.
Oh
If you
my
come
gosh.
Sunday
Oh,
morning,
is that right?
we're going to wristband you when you come in Sunday.
Well, Pittsburghers are like, so that's $250.
Right.
That's it. $250 a day. That's
they
exactly
can shower
right.
with their wristband on.
That's
right?
yeah. Well,
Yes.
I hope it's probably going to be pink. Hopefully the dye doesn't wear off.
right.
But yes, you come in Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. The vendors fair goes off at Sunday at 1 o'clock. The car show at 1 o'clock. We have live music inside and outside all day on Sunday.
And
And
where does
then-
everybody find, like, this? These are so many details. If somebody's driving, they're like, well, I don't even know what he said. Where does somebody find that information?
Go to My Preferred Insurance on Facebook. Just seek out social media. Go to YaJagoffs. I'm sure you have
Bingo.
it posted there also.
We have it everywhere. People think we are insurance agents at this point.
My Preferred
take it.
Jagoffs is our brand. Yeah.
There's nothing better than being a preferred Jagoff.
That is true. That is true.
All right,
we don't
Vince.
have cards, though. Wait, Deanna, you have something you want to say.
on the website.
It is.
It's also on the website.
All right. It's on the website.
Says the social media communications marketing person.
And the beauty about this, I have to plug since we're here.
Oh,
Johnny
yeah.
Angel and the Halos.
Doo-woo! I love that he cued me. He cued
I
me
had
for
to
that.
cue it.
Yeah.
Will be playing as our headliner to finish it up on Monday.
Nice.
Oh,
So
the
it's
fans
all
are
right.
so stoked. We're
Now, we
talking
have to
about
get back into our traditional routine here. We have a question of the day, always on the podcast. We ask every person. So, what constitutes a salad, Vince?
what constitutes a salad? In Pittsburgh, it has to be lettuce, French fries.
I knew you were going to say that.
Got to be French fries. And then some form of protein, as we call
Okay.
it now. Typically,
Cheese.
it's steak. Well, it could be steak, could be cheese, but for me, it's steak.
Nice. All right.
I love that you said French fries. I had a feeling that
You
was
gotta
going
put
to be
French fries
on a
one of the
salad.
first
Oh, my
things
gosh,
that
yeah.
Pittsburghers say.
All
And we
right.
also understand, Tracy said, since you're an OG listener, you brought us a gift for our...
I did
Junk
for the
drawer.
actually I brought two.
Okay. Well, there's two of us, so that's cool.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
good.
Okay.
So how do we do this here?
All
I
right,
get to
here.
pick what I want more.
Well, just here. As a matter of fact, give them to me, and then I'll hold them up to the camera.
You got to figure
Okay,
out who that is
seriously?
first.
All right. So this.
It's
this
a
one
troll.
here.
It is a troll, but which one?
Is this one of the new ones?
That's from the Troll movie.
Oh, I don't know.
It's
because
a purple troll
my
with a green
dad,
nose
No,
for
I
those
don't know.
listening
Who is
to the
it?
radio.
Look at his feet.
Oh, I
Guy.
It's Guy the Troll.
Oh, it's
Straight
the,
out of
my drum
it's
drawer
the
at
troll
home.
guy versus the insurance guy.
There you go. Well,
How
my
about
dad
that?
has
All
all
right.
the old-fashioned trolls, so
And then you always got to have.
Wait a minute. Here it comes. Here comes the reveal for those watching.
I think this is the most clever thing. This is the business card.
That is my business card, the poker chip, and that is Sam Thong's rendition of the insurance guy.
Which is
I
on
love
the
it.
beer can, and which is on the beer tap puller.
That's exactly
handle.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, and we
Or
got to
puller.
remember
Puller.
every pint that
Yes.
Union Brothers pours, $1 goes to the charitable foundation.
Is that just during Shindig? That's
That is
always
all year long.
Oh, I didn't realize
Insurance
that.
Guy
Yeah.
Stouts on tap all year long, and for every pint that they pour, $1 goes to the charitable foundation. I think so far, as of a couple days ago, was roughly $700, maybe a little bit better than that they're going to be donating at the Shindig
That's
this year.
wonderful.
Vince, is it fact or fiction that you're going to be singing back up with Johnny Angel and the
Oh,
Halos?
wow.
I'll
In
try
the back
anything
line.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on that guy. 'cause,
Yeah.
you know, who knows?
Right.
Vince Gemma, we always enjoy you. We are so excited for the Shindig yet again. We really hope that Western PA, it's a short drive up to 79. It is worth your time. Check it out.
Yeah.
August
Thanks,
4th and
guys.
5th.
Appreciate
Always
it.
a pleasure. And we get to really enjoy a 20-year celebration coming up with our new friend Aaron, thanks to Kiki. Stay with us on YaJagoff Late Night.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich! Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
Welcome to Fernandez. Can I take your order?
You need a tappet?
No, we don't use this. We know how to yell the sandwich, the cook. Here we go.
It's John and Rachael. We love to dig into iconic Pittsburgh places like Permanis. So we brought our friends from People's Gas.
Please call at least 3 business days before you dig.
It doesn't matter if it's a big project or something small like a mailbox.
always call before you dig.
I called. We can dig in.
So please call 811 3 business days before excavating so you don't have to call 911.
John and Rachael, a special of Where You At? We're in Harmony.
I thought it was Jackson.
Harmony.
Jackson?
Harmony.
Anyway, the reason that we're here is because the one and only Shindig is happening again this year on August 4th and 5th, and we wanted to get to know the town a little more, so we have a couple of tour guides this time.
Typical day for me. I do meetings over at the Wonder Bar with my good friend Seth, and then we typically come over here in the afternoon. So I'm going to turn the tour over to you because you're the Wonder Bar owner.
Sure, yeah. Building is over here on your left, Jackson. Over here on your right, Hartman.
So if we wanted to do wait, let me get this right. Harmony, Jackson, Harmony, Jackson.
Me and John Letterman just got shushed by Michaela
John
and
Letterman?
Monica. Letterman, because you have your Letterman jacket on. That's why we're calling you that.
Again, a
How-
jacket you can get here, the kind of stuff you can get here at Johnny Angel's Ginchy stuff.
How about our Where You At? We had such a good time. Speaking of the Shindig, it was with Vince Gemma. Check out our Where You At's every Wednesday is a different micro neighborhood. This time we were visiting where we are going in August. Now we are visiting the Legacy Arts Project. It's a 20-year anniversary. Did you know that?
I did. Well, I heard you pitch that.
You heard me talk about it twice?
I paid attention.
So welcome, Aaron. We're so excited that we get to meet you because we started seeing some things about this, and Kiki reached out and said, would you like to interview someone? And we said, heck yeah. And here you are. So thank you for coming on. I can't believe it's the first time that we've actually talked to you.
And hopefully not the last.
Exactly.
So thank you for having me.
Make sure you stay on our radar for sure.
I sure shall.
Anybody, we love it. We love it.
I like how the fact that you came in very meek and all of a sudden,
She
it's on now, right?
So 20 years is such an accomplishment. So for anybody who doesn't know, tell us a little bit about what it is and what you're celebrating.
So I am Erin Perry, the executive director of the Legacy Arts Project, and our organization started in 2004, founded by Linda Sistiamani Barrett, who is from the Hill District. And she had been actually a student at the University of Pittsburgh in 1969, where there was a student demonstration and sit-in at the student union to demand Black Studies be included as a part of the curriculum.
Okay.
And so at that time, they brought in a professor from Brooklyn, New York, by the name of Bob Johnson, who created an ensemble called the Pittsburgh Black Theater Dance Ensemble. And so this was a student ensemble. Community members were also involved. It toured all around the country, and they did a lot of work that really focused on the African diaspora. So it was sort of experimental and just exploratory, and a lot of people had very transformative experiences with it. So in 2004, Sister Imani, who had been a part of the ensemble in 1969, said, I want to bring back some of these folks who were dancing with me from all these years ago, and she started the Legacy Arts Project.
I love that story. And you say it so well. Let me just condense this for you, and here's how it went.
There it is.
So was Professor Johnson a dancer or just...
he was a dancer. And so he actually was on tour with some of the greats inside of Black dance, like Katherine Dunham. He was a part of her last touring company. And so she was a very pivotal person inside of Black dance who went to Haiti in her early years and really immersed herself in the culture and understood the different techniques of dance that were happening in Haitian tradition. And she was able to infuse it into her own style of dance, which became the Dunham technique. And so he was one of the dancers who was a part of her last touring company. Wow. And so, it's actually, he was a really part of a famous lineage. Then he came to Pittsburgh, and then that's where the story takes off.
Wow, this is pretty fascinating. And was it started to go back and kind of bring the culture forward, kind of teach those that are current?
Yes. Yeah. To remember what we have been disconnected from, the things that are innate to just our cultural legacy, things that were related to the African diaspora, but mainly rooted in African traditions, but where they had spread into Haiti and other parts of the Caribbean, and then also inside of America, the Black dance traditions that were taking place here. And so he was able to infuse a lot of exploration into the art forms that he was bringing to the students at the University of Pittsburgh.
That's pretty, I mean, to me, I say this all the time when I talk to art people. I always say I'm not artistic, and every art person says yes.
But you look
are
very
in
artistic.
some way.
Yes.
But
Yes.
but it's to me it's like you can see art.
Yes.
Right. And so, is there something beyond dance, or is dance the focal point, or does it sort of go beyond
Well,
that?
the
as far
work
as
that
the
we do
programming?
goes beyond dance. So we
Okay.
infuse a lot of music and movement because the two are married.
Sure.
And then in addition to that, we do some spoken word and
Oh,
theater, visual arts, and all of that is a part of the work that we do at Legacy Arts. Right now, we actually have a summer arts program. We're the third week just finished up in our summer camp, where it's our 10th year of our summer program. We work with 55 young people between the ages of 6 and 13. Then we have a youth employment experience for teens ages 14 to 19, and they're working in our camp doing different positions. We have 5 positions for our youth to choose from, which include theater, media. We have a partnership with WQED who's working with us
Love
this
them.
summer.
Okay.
Then we have a garden crew as well as maintenance and our junior counselors who help to facilitate our summer
And
program.
located in Homewood.
We are located in
Yeah.
Homewood on Tioga Street. Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
And
No,
10 years, celebrating 10 years.
Well,
is a
the
big-
organization is 20 and then our
but this-
summer program is 10.
Yeah,
Yep. And then
wow.
it's 12 years of Dance Africa.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now the key point is July 27th and
Yes.
28th. Something's happening,
Yes,
right?
yes, and that is
That's
our
for
12th
everybody?
annual Dance Africa, and we are inviting everyone out to the show because we are trying to sell it out. As we're commemorating 20 years of our organization, this is just such a profound year for us to acknowledge the work that we've been doing in the community for the past 20 years, but also recognizing that we're linked to 55 years of history with our organization. So it's a big year, and we want to invite people to come. We want to invite you to come on out.
Found that camera.
Yes, we want to invite you to come on out this year, this summer, July 27th and 28th to the New Hazlitt Theater for the 12th Dance Africa Pittsburgh.
So as far as that's concerned, 2 days, right?
2 days.
Is it the same thing each day, giving you the
Yes.
opportunity? Okay.
Yeah, so we actually have 2 shows on each day. So
Okay.
there's an A show, and it's at 3 o'clock on the 27th, and then the B show is at 7. And then on Sunday, it flips so that the 3 o'clock show is the B show, and the 7 o'clock is the A show. But we're working with 11 Pittsburgh-based choreographers, and it's just amazing work that's going to be brought to the forefront. And our theme this year is Heart to Heart. So we're really looking at how can we use our art as a form of healing and transformation, because we already talk about art as a healing mechanism inside of the world, inside of our communities, inside of our families. But this year for Dance Africa, we really want to bring people together to say that there is hope for humanity. There are ways that we can come together and really experience the transformative power of the arts by witnessing what people have created, the choreographers and then the dancers who are bringing it to life. So in total, there are nearly 200 performers who are part of this show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, and I challenge Yinzers because, we always talk about Pittsburgh as the melting pot. But are we really melted because we don't take time? We see everybody passing in the street. We hear about things, but we don't really. How many times do we really take the opportunity to go
And
learn
ask
about
the
another
questions.
culture and ask
Yeah.
the questions?
Yes.
So this would be that opportunity.
This would be the opportunity. So just real quick about Dance Africa, it was founded in 1976 by, and now he's an ancestor. His name is Baba Chuck Davis, Charles Davis. And he had this idea that he wants to bring people together to just celebrate the majesty of African dance. But the thing that is so profound about it is that when you start bringing people together and you're bringing drumming and you're bringing this music, everybody who's there can feel it. And so we've had experiences where people are leaving with tears in their eyes because the feeling that you experience literally is hope for humanity. So he had a mantra that he would do in the show where everybody in the audience would say love, peace, and respect for everyone. And so it literally is just like we're using our words to cast a spell, if you will.
Yeah.
But it's a positive spell. We're saying that there is hope for us, that we can really use the things that are here for us, our art forms, to bring to life what is inside of us all, or the majority of us. The majority of people want to
can
see
sell anything.
humanity.
Wow.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
want to see peace on earth. And we
Wow.
want to feel this. And so that's actually what happens at Dance Africa. So we've been doing this our 12th year. We started in 2010, and I've been a part of every show since. And
Dancing? I was just gonna-
dancing.
okay.
And also, this is my first year doing choreography for a show. So I am bringing my own creative expression into the performance space, as well as the other 10 choreographers who are part of the show. So I want to just highlight everybody who's doing this work because it takes a lot to really bring your creativity to the forefront.
question.
It's very intimate because you're revealing what's on the inside and saying, okay, here, everybody.
I'm sharing this
I'm
with
sharing
you.
this
Yeah,
with you. This
sure.
is me. I'm
Listen,
sharing
you have
with
everybody hooked. Go right into that camera. Tell everybody
Come
where they
on.
find.
Yes, come to Dance Africa. Get your tickets. You can go to legacyartsproject.org and get your tickets. You want to get them now before they're all gone because I'm telling you, these shows will sell out. July 27th and 28th, New Hazlitt Theater.
We cannot wait.
I
This
feel like
is
this
awesome.
question of the day is a challenge.
I know. Are we
because,
really asking
Yeah,
her this?
you're so healthy looking.
I
All
know.
right. So what dictates a salad?
Well, so I have small children. They're young, 14, 13, and 8. And for me, a salad sometimes is just lettuce.
And that's okay, right? And we don't need the fries. Hold the fries. Aaron, you are a gift to this city. Thank you so much. We
Thank you
wish
so
you
much.
nothing but the best.
Thank you.
Sell this out.
Yeah,
thanks to
sell
Kiki.
it out.
And
For the
thanks to
connect-
Kiki.
yeah.
Thanks
for
to
sure.
Kiki.
Yeah.
Shouting out Kiki.
So next up, we get to actually talk to one of the most iconic Pittsburghers as well, who has a little something to do with
The movie St. Elmo's Fire.
St. Elmo's Fire.
It's the story
Gonna
behind
be a man and more. Should I sing it again?
Do it.
Right. Stop singing the same thing. Sorry.
Welcome to Fernandez. Can I take your orders?
You need a tap in?
No, we don't use this. We know how to yell the sandwich, the cook. Here we go.
Dig in.
It's John and Rachael. We love to dig into iconic Pittsburgh places like Permanis. So we brought our friends from People's Gas.
Please call at least 3 business days before you dig.
It doesn't matter if it's a big project or something small like a mailbox. Always call before you dig. I called. We can dig in.
So please call 811 3 business days before excavating so you don't have to call 911.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich. I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
And I started to ask Michael this, and he said, "You're the one that came up with it. How did you really get to this stage?" Because when we think about pickled gelato, I mean, what?
Yeah.
So how did you get here?
Last year when we were thinking about the recipes, I thought about what I knew, and I'm still learning and green when it comes to gelato. I've only been doing it for 3 years or so now, and so I wanted to be able to utilize as much of the zucchini or the pickle that we could.
It's John and Rachael, YaJagoff Late Night. Here's how the story goes. I have to be limited on my speaking tonight because I want to absorb and take in every minute from the two folks that we get to talk to, because this is like beyond royalty level. The story goes like this. I was scrolling through Facebook. Carl Kurlander, who has been Pittsburgh royalty and beyond for years and years, I came across a couple things that he had posted and was intrigued by this whole Brat Pack, extravaganza for years. And I, of course, watched the documentary, and lo and behold, Facebook helped me. I read through some of this stuff, saw that he actually tagged Emilio Estevez and was like, why has Carl not been on this podcast in 2 years, maybe longer? And so we reached out, and he said, I not only want to weigh in on what it was like helping out with, we'll say, St. Elmo's Fire, but I have an even bigger component to it. And you brought your dear friend Lynn, and now I'm going to just shut up because I want you to just take over and tell us whatever you want to say, and we'll edit.
Telethon.
I end up getting a freak scholarship. I'm an intern at Universal. During that summer, I adapt. I'm like, if she likes a short story, I'll write it into a movie. Yeah. So I write an entire script, now set ending in D.C. because she's moved into D.C., about a bellhop and meets a waitress and gets obsessed with her and then goes and follows her to D.C. and then makes a movie that will try to impress her. And I'm like, oh, I'll mail that to her. This did not go so well. Do you want to respond right now, or you want?
He was still using my real name in the first draft of the script. And it started to really scare me because it really was pretty stalker-like. And as much as I really liked Carl as a friend, and we had, I loved him as a friend. I was also getting.
You should not use that word, Lynn. Just a little life tip.
Don't
start telling a guy who keeps coming after you, oh, I loved him as a friend.
Well.
I understand. Yes, you didn't have any siblings. But by the way, we met on Walnut Street.
Right.
Her friend, was it Louisa?
Louise. Yes.
You know when you show up at the lunch and Louise is there, it's not going well. And then we walk on Walnut Street, where I grew up off of, and my friends were like, hey, how you doing? And she's like, look, my mother's a psychologist, God bless your mother. Right. And she says, I think you may need some
some help.
You said that.
Yeah, like, please,
Oh my God.
you should get your life together before we had contact. And I'm like, okay.
And I said, stop,
Using
please
my name.
stop dragging my name around Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because I was just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I the story was great. I loved, he was a great writer, but it was making me uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yes.
It's so weird.
So
What's weird is one of the first weeks at working for the head of Universal film production, I get gazpacho with no croutons, no sour cream, and chopped egg on the side, and I have to get lunch for a guy named Joel Schumacher, who's
Oh my
directing
God.
DC Cab with Mr. T.
Oh.
And Mr. T is the biggest star of the '80s, and then the head of the studio sends my script to an agent. I'm now using the pen name C.K. Lander so anyway, he likes the script and he signs me. He's a good agent, and I'm still starving, but I'm represented, and I get fired from jobs as waiters myself. Now we have something in common. Some guy said to me, I got a job at a fancy restaurant. He said, I understand you want to be a screenwriter. I said, yeah. He said, why don't you pursue a career in that direction? So, and then a year later, I become Joel's assistant on DC Cab, and it was supposed to be this big movie, and it had Bill Maher and all these comedians, but there was a lot of F-bombs, and it bombs, and then one Thursday afternoon it's raining, which it rarely does in LA, but all the time in Chautauqua. And so I start thinking about it, and this long podcast, I tell basically this story to Joel, and he's like, what? Let me see that script. So he reads the short story and the screenplay, and the next day he comes into the office and he says, I want to write a movie with you about life after college, and I want to use your characters. And he said, what was really interesting about this obsession you had, he said, is usually they're not worthy. Like the movie 10, Bo Derek, they're the object of the infatuation is usually someone who's ultimately disappointed, heartbreak kid,
Yeah.
But in this case, she seems like a really good person who cares about you. So Joel was smart enough to figure that out. Also smart enough to change Lynn Snyderman to Dale Lieberman. Joel he was 20 years older than me. But what happened is I never know what happened in this meeting. There was a meeting about Bar Stars that was supposed to be this wacky comedy. And whatever he thought, that Friday he heard this story and he said, let's write this movie about life after college. Where should we set the movie? So it took me about 14 seconds, 22 seconds to say, oh, how about DC? And he just said DC Cab there, and it bombed, but he's like, oh, okay, yeah, they got Georgetown, let's do that. So for 3 days, we drove around LA. I still have the recordings. I still have all these notes right here. And the entire St. Elmo gang, it was a lot of people, some people I'd known from Chautauqua and Duke and Pittsburgh. These were all composite characters. Some people over the years still think that this person or that person is them. And each of them, sadly, like Kirby, Joel called me Kerbo, which was a nickname because of a long story I won't tell here. But the bottom line is that's what he called me. There was a girl at Duke named Wendy who was a big social do-gooder. I was very, into changing the world too. And I was living with a girl named Jules, this wild girl in this anarchist collective in a laundry room, who when she saw her name in the script, I don't know if I've told you this. So Jules is a real girl who was wild and was like my Holly Golightly. So when she finds out, because I'm sitting there on the floor typing the script that I'm writing with Joel, she sees her name in it and she literally rips the shirt off my back. Rips the shirt off my back and starts hitting me. And then, of course, we ended up kind of romantic. Anyway, it was a crazy relationship. But the bottom line is Jules was based on a little bit on Jules and a little bit on other people and several other people in the script. These were all my friends. My friend Sean Flaherty had a little bit, who's a big Pittsburgher. So various people from Pittsburgh and elsewhere end up in the script. And at this point, this never happens. We write it in a month. Amazingly, every studio pass, the guy at Universal says, these are the worst 7 people I've ever read on a page.
Oh my God.
That's what Marvin Antonowski tells Joel. But Craig Baumgarten at Columbia doesn't know that, and he thinks it's a bidding war, and so God bless Craig. Craig greenlights the script. We start casting. I have the casting notes here. We have all these people who come in, that some of which become the Brat Pack, but like Laura Branigan, the singer, came in for Jules. I had to read. I just saw Marcy Learoff, who was our great casting director. She came, I was in LA, and she came to talk to my students, and she said, she had already picked out Mayor Winningham, and she said that she actually had Demi on the list, but Joel credits me with discovering Demi Moore. Do you know the story? So
No.
John Hughes had an office next to us, and one day she runs out of the office, and she looks just like the real Jules, and so I go, wait, and Joel says, get her, and I run out a block, like, excuse me, we're making a movie, and could you please come back and as stupid as this sounds like, Demi must have been like, who the fuck, what are you doing here? And then like, so Demi, in her memoir, she goes, I ran down a flight of stairs. I'm like, no, it was a full block, Demi, thank you. And then she comes in and she ends up being Jules, and then, because John Hughes at the office next to us, we heard about a lot of the Brat Pack and how Emilio and how good that was. We saw, the Brat Pack, the Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
We knew how good those actors were. And so we read 500 people, and Lauren Schuler, the producer, said that we wanted to cast them as a group. And so Emilio wanted to play the Rob Lowe character, and they were close friends. But Joel ended up giving it to Rob, because even though Rob was like a teen beat guy, he said I could mess him up and make him cool. And poor Emilio ended up. So to try to end this a little bit, at the end of so we're at the table read on my 25th birthday. And there are the people you now know as the Brat Pack: Andrew McCarthy, Rob Lowe, Emilio Estevez, Mayor Winningham, Demi Moore, Judd Nelson, like my children, whom I've been, Gally Sheedy, and Andy McDowell, who, by the way, I didn't think anyone could ever live up to Lynn. No one was ever as beautiful. We saw Carol Alt, we saw supermodels. Oh, I had to read at one point with from Footloose. Marcy wasn't there, and I had to read with Laurie Singer, the lead from Footloose. So I was so nervous. She read both for the Jules part, and when she said, I think you're gay, you might be gay, it's kind of a joke, but I'm like, oh my God, might be a gay? And so, but she wasn't good enough to play Lynn either. Finally, Andy McDowell shows up in the Chateau Marmont with 2 casts on her arms. And she had just been dubbed in the movie Greystoke, her debut in Tarzan, by Glenn Close's voice, which was horrible. The director said it was because of her accent, but you can see that. And she was really committed to making it from model to actress. And so she showed up, and she started talking about being from Gaffney, Mississippi, and she had my heart. So I'm like, okay, if Lynn herself can't play this role, Andy McDowell got the role. And we're at the table read, and after the table read, Joel asked me to go please tell the story. After everyone leaves, I sit down in a chair, these little fold-up chairs, and I tell Emilio and Anda the story. Emilio's just shaking his head like, this happened, dude? You are just out of your mind. And Andy looks at me at the end and goes, you have beautiful eyes. And I'm like... And then she's wearing a t-shirt that says, if you love someone, set them free. If they don't come back, hunt them down and kill them. So the ironic thing is, we go to D.C. to scout, and I'm being a good boy. There was a payphone. I thought about calling Lynn, but I know not to. Joel goes to speak to the head of Georgetown to see if we can film on campus, Father Freeze. And then he sends me to go look for bars that could be dubbed for St. Elmo's, and the fictional bar that we're building in Burbank. And Joel goes to see Father Freeze, and Father Freeze explains to him, the Jesuit priest, that we can't shoot on the campus because our script is inappropriate. It's got drugs, it's got sex, bad language. And Joel says, well, you had the Exorcist film here, and in that movie, a 13-year-old girl calls the devil and does this with the cross. And he goes, yes, but in that movie, the devil didn't win. So we had to shoot everything in the University of Maryland. Meanwhile, I go looking for bars. And I am still, despite how I talk now, a pretty shy guy. And I walk into, I didn't know this till right now, Champs. Mm-hmm. And there was a very attractive hostess. And I'm like, excuse me, middle of the day, I just wrote a movie and Rob Lowe's going to be in it. And can I just look around? Doesn't give me the time of the day. Like, totally blew me off, right? So I'm like, okay. And then I saw a bar called The Tombs, which some Georgetown people pointed me to, and that became the basis for the St. Elmo bar. But it's funny. So yes, I still have this tape. It's probably now decayed, of Lynn calling.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yes, I have that tape. So and by the way,
that.
One of her jokes, she's kind of funny in her kind of way. She goes, if you didn't have anything to do with it, I'm a lawyer now and we could sue. So
that's awesome.
And so I'm thinking, you know, you'd think it'd be enough that I'm going to D.C., the movie, the Brat Pack. We're in a Georgetown hotel. And so, oh, my God. I'm glad this is just cathartic. Thank you for, I can skip a therapy session. So basically,
we're happy we can.
The night before we're about to film, Lynn says we should get together. I'm like, everything, see, this is working. It's all going to happen. And then she's never late. And I'm always late. And Rob and Emilio are like, hey, come on, dude, let's go into town. I'm like, no, I'm going to stay here. There are all the people now known as the Brat Pack are upstairs. I invited me to go have drinks, but I'm going to go meet Lynn. And she shows up, and she was looking very nice. I believe she was wearing a raincoat. Might have been raining. I don't know if you remember any of this.
Don't.
Oh, you don't? Mm-mm. Oh, my God, I have to tell this myself. So, you know, I thought, oh, my God, just like in the script I wrote, this is going to work. We walk into the parking lot, and there is $1 million worth of equipment. I mean, there's cranes. Do you ever walk into the parking lot?
Yes.
There was, like, all this equipment. There's something called a honey wagon. I'm explaining the cranes, and, like, this is
Yes.
all. And Joel keeps saying none of this would have happened unless you had met that waitress at the San Elmo Hotel. And so, you know, it's beautiful in the moonlight, and it's a little misty, and I'm like, oh, my God. And then Lynn explains to me the reason that she was late, because she had just come from someplace. Do you remember where you had come from, Lynn? You don't. It's fine. This is my obsession. So she informs me she's sorry she's late. She just came from her engagement party.
Oh.
A minor thing.
Thud.
Thud, yeah. You know, and at this point, God bless Andy McDowell, she's, you know, calling me Kerbo, and I had to buy her an engagement ring at this vendor thing as a joke, and she's like, pretend we're getting married. Anyway, so this happens. I don't know. Lynn ends up, you know, getting married, and I end up in Hollywood. There's a big premiere in New York, and a big party. It's not even a premiere. And when the movie came out, it got horrible reviews, you know. Joel used to say it wasn't one positive review in the United States of America. And at some point, Siskel and Ebert gave it 2 thumbs down on both shows, saying these are self-obsessed, narcissistic, you know, why would anyone care about these characters? These are nothing like the friends we had in college. And Joel screams at the TV set, yeah, unlike you, these guys got laid. Yeah. And, you know, I was still a shy kid, but Joel and I put every sex scene that we could. I mean, you know, frankly, everything got thrown into that script. And it's amazing because everything stayed pretty close to what we did those 3 days. And the crazy thing is that now, because of this YaJagoff podcast, now you know. Yes, there would be no Brat Pack without that article, but there'd be no St. Elmo's Fire without Lynn Snyderman.
How about that?
There's no words.
Yeah, right. So
this is finally Tracy got me to do something. No jumping out of an airplane, no riding in a vehicle without a top or anything like that. I got to talk to the Brat Pack folks.
Yeah.
But there's so much more.
There's so much more. Lots of minutes over on our YouTube channel, YaJagoff. In the meantime, coming up next, we have a little bit of music.
Jeremy and Angie from Discover the Berg here, and we are bringing you the 412 Do's this week. You know, Angie, busy weekend in Pittsburgh.
It is so packed. There's so much going on.
Yes.
We had to narrow down the things that we were going to talk about for this tonight. So one of the great things that's going on this weekend is the Northside Music Festival. So being Northsiders ourselves is one of our favorite events.
It's still Deutschtown to me, though.
Well, yeah. So most of the stages are, you know, in the Deutschtown area. So there's a bunch of different places to check out music. Lots of great local bands. There's food trucks.
Top heavy this Saturday, though, right?
Yeah. So the majority of the concerts going on Saturday.
A gospel stage on Sunday, though, right?
Yeah. Yes. So just check it out. You meander into little bars and shops, and there's just music everywhere.
Like the Croatian Hall is one of my favorite places to wander into, and there's music there. And if you do come in on Saturday too, Teutonia Manor Court, just across the bridge of the highway, the private German club there is having their Summerfest as well. They're having live music all day Saturday too. It's a great chance to get down in the Ratskeller, go see the beer garden, also have some good German beer.
That space is amazing.
Yeah.
If you haven't been there, check it out.
So it's not technically part of the Northside Music Festival, but Saturday is a busy day just for music in the Northside. It's so much fun. And, you know, if you're not into music and you want something different, the Whiskey Rebellion Festival is going on down in Washington on Saturday as well. They do a lot of historic reenactments from the Whiskey Rebellion.
I hear there's a tar and feathering.
We haven't actually been to it, but yeah, there's a lot of cool period dress, food trucks, music, obviously, and of course whiskey. It's just, it's a whole lot of fun. But what about for people who maybe aren't into whiskey or music? What else is going on this weekend?
Closer to home here, we have the Squirrel Hill Night Market going on Saturday night. So this is styled after a lot of the Asian night markets that take place all throughout different countries in Asia. So the street will be shut down on Murray from Forbes down a couple blocks. So there's going to be lots of artists selling their crafts and food, and just a great chance to explore the neighborhood and support local makers.
Yeah, it's awesome. And one of our favorite food trucks actually just opened up on Murray Avenue in Squirrel Hill, Stump Pig. If you've never had their sandwiches,
so good.
Just go. If you like spicy, just get the Mr. Orange. It's spicy chicken. It's amazing. But they're going to be right there in the heart of it. So go walk around, support the local artists and vendors. And if you aren't buying from the food truck, Stump Pig's going to be right there to get you covered. They're going to have a boatload of food, I'm sure. And so we always like to talk about beer also.
Of course.
What
Can't
is
do
new?
this without talking about beer. So some of the new spots that have come up recently are actually in Hazelwood.
Mm-hmm.
So there is the Hazelwood Brew House, which is a really cool spot that actually used to be a brewery back in the early 1900s and is now a really cool spot with 3 different breweries.
Yeah, but one's not open
One
yet,
is not
right?
quite yet open, but soon to be 3 breweries over multiple levels. And there's like a really cool outdoor kind of rooftop deck area
on the 4th floor, right?
The fourth floor.
Great view.
Great outdoor spaces there. Lots of great beer, and they usually have food trucks as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also in the area is Hazel Grove Brewery, which is not in that space, but is separate, just down the street a little bit, which is also recently opened. Another great spot to check out when you're in the neighborhood.
Yeah, so Hazelwood just got 4 breweries and 2 spaces, and it's kind of confusing with the common names. But yeah, there's 2 different spaces and soon to be 4 breweries, but there's 3 open right now. So you can just go to Hazelwood this week and just support a ton of local beer. And then also, we went kind of heavy on this weekend, but next week is Picklesburg starting on Thursday. And I know John and Rachael are going to be talking about this more because they host the pickle juice drinking competition. And someone's alarm's going off. And it's okay. But yes, Picklesburg is coming back next Thursday. So if you missed stuff this weekend, Picklesburg Thursday through Sunday next week. I believe the pickle juice drinking competition starts on Friday. I'll be down for that one. I always love to go harass John and Rachael there, get my pickle beer, pickle food. It's just going to be a lot of fun with a lot of people. Yeah, so that's it for us for the 412 Dudes. We're Jeremy and Angie from Discover the Berg. You can find us at discovertheberg.com or Google Pittsburgh blog or on social media at Discover the Berg. We'll see you soon. Woo! And we're doing this live.
That was awesome. Hey, mister, what are you doing?
I'm just fixing your screens.
Why?
Because the other ones are kind of old.
After 40 years in business, Screenmobile has seen it all. From simple window and door screens to 3-season rooms, motorized screens, and more. Screenmobile is here to help.
Why is the sky blue? Why do birds put their nests so high up?
Our team of professional technicians is ready to answer your questions. Well, most of them. And help you find the best screen solution for your home or workplace. Screenmobile. You call, we screen.
PittsburghUsedCars.com. With hundreds of used cars across 8 dealerships throughout the city. We provide the greater Pittsburgh area with a premium used car buying experience. Looking for unbeatable pricing on some of the best used cars in Pittsburgh? Visit Pittsburgh Used Cars Clearance Zone today. We're providing out-the-door pricing on all of our clearance zone inventory. PittsburghUsedCars.com.
Welcome to Fernandez. Can I take your orders?
You need a tap it?
No, we don't use this. We know how to yell the sandwich, the cook. Here we go.
Let's dig in.
It's John and Rachael. We love to dig into iconic Pittsburgh places like Permanis. So we brought our friends from People's Gas.
Please call at least 3 business days before you dig.
It doesn't matter if it's a big project or something small like a mailbox. Always call before you dig. I called. We can dig in.
So please call 811 3 business days before excavating so you don't have to call 911.
You will never regret your time on the ambulance because it will come with you and become a part of you. It helps you grow as a person and gives you life experience that you would never have had access to otherwise. What other job do you go to school for 9 months and you get to go out and intubate people in the field? Right? I'm putting tubes down people's throats to help them breathe. I'm starting IVs. I'm giving, ketamine, fentanyl.
This is a very rewarding job. I love coming to work every day. It's always something different. I don't really call this work.
Probably amazing. Just because you can change the life of someone in like moments, you can bring someone back to life.
We're living in this crisis of everyone not being able to afford secondary education or finding employment after that. This is something you can do very quickly. Having an EMT is very short. Like, you can do it in 3 months. It's a very small financial commitment.
Pass this around. John and Rachael, Jagoff Late Night, and we're back. I don't know who the heck was screaming in the background of 412 News, but Jeremy and Angie braved coming in here. They typically record it, and they came in here live, which is totally cool.
And how about, speaking of live, nothing says Pittsburgh like the fact that the Northside Music Festival is tonight, and it's going through the weekend, and we actually have one of the performers here. And it doesn't get better than that.
Right. I have to ask you, is this a made-up name? Because, like, this is a name that people go, wow, that's sexy.
And what is it? I mean,
that's awesome.
Giovanni Orsini. Is that? Did I say that right?
Yeah. That's
oh my god.
Birth name. It's all
okay. What are your nationalities? I need to know this.
So dad's like 100% Italian, and my mom's like mostly like German.
Okay.
So I got obviously more of the Italian gene expression.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, I love it.
Your food's better.
I will say I love German food, and I'm not, not trying to talk too much trash, but Italian's definitely better.
So how long have you been in the music business? Because you seriously look like you're 19, so that's amazing, right?
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm actually 26 now.
Yeah,
but
ish. Okay.
I've been playing probably like out gigging since I was like 14, so 12 years I've been doing it.
Okay, and what does gigging mean, like in your terms, starting out?
Playing bars, clubs, anything from like that to like house parties or DIY shows to like larger stuff.
Okay.
You're the guy, right? That your friends would say, I got a guy. He plays music, right? That kind of thing. Like, come to the party and listen to Giovanni.
Sure. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So it started you were 14, so 12 years. What does it look like now? Where are you playing? Where are places that people can see you?
So we currently play up and down the East Coast, like mostly in Pittsburgh, but we just got off like a 10-day run we started in Brooklyn, worked our way down through like Atlanta, and then came back up through Columbus and West Virginia.
And we should say you have a full band?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And so you are, what position are you? What position? What do you play in?
On this team, yeah. Well, I'm kind of like leading the offensive charge.
All right, you guys.
I might, yeah.
You've been talking to John Letterman too long.
But yeah. I know, I'm doing my late night comic bit right now.
There you go.
Yeah, I play guitar and sing in this band. But play bass and drums as well.
Style of music for people who haven't heard of you?
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Loud rock and roll.
Okay.
All right.
And who was sort of your muse? What was your inspiration?
That's pretty basic, but I grew up. I love Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
And like Sabbath. And
wow. Yeah.
A lot of like newer like psych rock and stuff.
That was from
too.
your parents or no friends, or you just kind of adopted it from someone else?
Kind of both.
Okay.
Like, my mom was really into classic rock, and my dad was like a jazz guy, so he turned me on to a lot of that.
Wow.
And then a lot of it was just my own discovery as well. So.
Wow.
So we're after the Northside Music Festival, which again, make sure you check it out because it's one of the greatest festivals that we have. And it's 3 days of music, which is so cool. After that, where will you be? Where can people find you?
So after that, tomorrow, I guess
Saturday.
the third, Saturday, we're playing our bass player and his buddy built a skate park in Oakland. It's called Oakland DIY.
Oh, yeah.
And they're throwing like a skate competition music festival. So I think we're headlining that tomorrow.
How do people track where you're going to be even a month from now if they're listening to the podcast?
Honestly, Instagram.
Okay.
I'm pretty terrible
Follow the
about
gram.
like posting sometimes.
Yeah.
But either Instagram or like physical flyers that you see around the city.
I love
too.
that. Yeah, that's how it all starts.
See how
right?
easy you thought this interview was going to be? But we're going to have you hang around and play music. But first, we have a question of the day.
Oh, shoot.
In Pittsburgh here, for you, what constitutes a salad?
Hot take.
Hot take.
I don't like salads.
I was like, I don't know what that means. I was like,
I'll take a Pittsburgh salad. Leave all the vegetables.
Oh yeah, the fries.
He is one of my
kids.
Yeah. He is one of my kids for sure. Yeah. It's a Permanis, right?
You're right. I am 19 years old.
I love it, Giovanni. We
We're the same
cannot
brain.
wait to hear you perform. Thank you so much for joining us. We're super stoked to get this song
Thank you
in.
for having me.
All right, next up, we're gonna listen to the song, and we're super stoked because again, it's Northside Music Fest, YaJagoff Late Night.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
Welcome to Flamingo. Can I take your orders?
You need a tap it?
No, we don't use this. We know how to yell the sandwich, the cook. Here we go.
Let's dig in.
It's John and Rachael. We love to dig into iconic Pittsburgh places like Permanis. So we brought our friends from People's Gas.
Please call at least 3 business days before you dig.
It doesn't matter if it's a big project or something small like a mailbox. Always call before you dig. I called. We can dig in.
So please call 811 3 business days before excavating so you don't have to call 911.
Hey, mister, what are you doing?
I'm just fixing your screens.
Why?
Because the other ones are kind of old.
After 40 years in business, Screenmobile has seen it all. From simple window and door screens to 3-season rooms, motorized screens, and more. Screenmobile is here to help.
Why is the sky blue? Why do birds put their nests so high up?
Our team of professional technicians is ready to answer your questions. Well, most of them. And help you find the best screen solution for your home or workplace. Screenmobile. You call, we screen.
PittsburghUsedCars.com. With hundreds of used cars across 8 dealerships throughout the city. We provide the greater Pittsburgh area with a premium used car buying experience. Looking for unbeatable pricing on some of the best used cars in Pittsburgh? Visit Pittsburgh Used Cars Clearance Zone today. We're providing out-the-door pricing on all of our clearance zone inventory. PittsburghUsedCars.com.
Hi, I'm Giovanni Orsini. You can find me on Instagram. We're here on YaJagoff. Super excited. So I'm going to play some tunes for you. Oh, I've messed that up. My guitar is so out of tune. I'm sorry.
Do it. Do you need me to cover for you?
Yes, please.
We'll be singing while
Quick, fill me in.
No, you tell me when you're ready. I'll just go. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Monica, Johnny, Michaela, and thanks to Johnny Angel for letting us have his space. We'll be back at Alloy 26. Actually, next Thursday.
Yeah,
is when we'll be recording. So you tell us when we're ready. And thanks to Tracy. She had about 97 emails for this podcast because
all the changes.
Well, all
right?
of the changes. We really appreciate it, and we're glad to be back in the saddle here. You good?
Good.
Yeah. All right.
Now I'm actually
Giovanni
Letterman.
Doing.
Let go, tie your shoes. If he's dead, you lose. A buried animal will pollinate its home and fall into the warmth of nectar.
tastes like a cherry, splintering backwards through a glow left undefined. Freedom soaking in clever, waiting for never, lost in endeavor, splintering all the things a dreamer needs to shine. So run and tell them, lady, tell them how your eyes crawling through your head. Tell them about the lies they spread when foolish men live life facing death. I've been thinking what it means for a splinter inside me to grow, infect my soul while existence is clean. Whoa! Keep on searching, lows unearthing, see you in the sky. Digging deeper goes much smoother while we're getting high. Hear the chatter, watch the shatter, evil loves a show, locking down your inner sound with loathing, and it shows. And it shows, watching a fear as it grows, losing myself in the smoke, choking on remnants of gold. I found a splinter, it shows. Sorry, looks like he's busy, wilting so quickly, tastes like a cherry, splintering.
Oh man, we're out, right?